Hello children and welcome to the session. We are going to learn today the different types of food, the components of food, balanced diet, malnutrition, obesity and deficiency diseases. We have learned in the last chapter that there are many sources of food. We have also understood that different sources of food provide us different type of nutrients. Nutrients are actually the substance is in the food that give us the required energy, material for growth and development, and immunity to fight diseases. Based on the type of nutrient that a food item provides, they are divided into three main categories. The first are energy-giving foods. All foods that provide us energy are put into this category. Foods like cereals, sugar, jaggery, and oils are all energy-giving foods. Next is body-building foods. There are some foods that give us the right amount of nutrients for our growth and development. Foods that are very important for infants, that are very important for old people and for sick people in their recovery. The third category of food are protective foods. These foods are the foods that provide us the right nutrients that help us in overcoming illness, in building immunity against diseases. Fruits and vegetables mainly come in this category. Coming next to the various components of food. As I just told you that there are different substances present in the food that provide different kind of nourishment to the body. These substances are known as nutrients. Some nutrients provide us energy, some nutrients help us in building our body, and some nutrients help us in protecting us from diseases. The first and the most important nutrient is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the very basic nutrients in the body which are very easily broken down into energy by the body. Some examples of carbohydrates are wheat, rice, barley, oats, etc. Carbohydrates are basically broken down to release the smallest unit of energy, which is glucose inside the body. Let us now understand the three different types of carbohydrates that we take in. We take in sugar, which is present in all the fruits. It is also naturally present in the milk that we take in. As starch, starch is found in potato, rice and wheat, and cellulose. Cellulose is present in the fibrous part of fruits and vegetables. Remember that cellulose is not digested in the body. Rather, cellulose adds bulks to the bowel and eases out the movement of food in the large intestine. Glucose is the simplest carbohydrate and it is the main source of energy for the body. We next come to fats. Just like carbohydrates, fats also provide energy. In fact, fats provide a little more energy than carbohydrates, but the amount in which we require carbohydrates is much less as compared to fats. We require fats in a very small quantity. We must also remember that the various sources of fat that we have, like cream, ghee, butter, etc., if taken in a large amount, are not utilized by the body. Rather, they are stored in the body, which leads to increased body weight. Some sources of animal fat are eggs and meat. Nuts like groundnuts, cashew nuts, etc. are also rich sources of fat. We come to the third main component of food, which is protein. Protein is the food that helps us in growth and repair of the body. Proteins are mainly found from milk, fish, eggs and nuts. So as you can see here, milk has been listed as one of the key sources of all the nutrients till now. That is the reason milk is classified as a complete food. Proteins help us in growth, protein helps us in repair of tissues, and proteins also help us in keeping our muscles very strong. There are two main sources of proteins. They are animal proteins. The main sources of animal protein are milk, cheese, egg, fish and meat, and vegetable protein. The main sources of animal protein are pulses, soya beans, nuts and grains. Let's come to the next main category of nutrients that we obtain from food. They are vitamins. Vitamins are essential for growth. most importantly, they are essential for building immunity against various diseases. The main vitamins required by the body are A, D, E, and K. Fruits are a very rich source of vitamins. Deficiency of vitamins in our body leads to many kinds of deficiency diseases that we are going to learn later in the chapter. The next nutrient is minerals. There are different kinds of minerals that are required by the body. There is calcium, there is iron, potassium, etc. Minerals are also required as an important source of building immunity in the body. Different minerals have different functions in the body and they are obtained from different sources. Let us understand them one by one. Calcium, the main source of calcium is milk. Calcium is very important in building up strong bones and teeth. Iron is needed in the body to make RBCs or red blood cells. These red blood cells bind the oxygen and carry it throughout the body. Iron is mainly found in green leafy vegetable, fish, liver, etc. Potassium is very important to keep the muscles, brains and nerves healthy. It is also important for maintaining the water balance inside the body. Moong, soya bean, etc. are rich sources of protein. Iodine is needed for the proper growth of the body. Iodine is richly found in seafood. Iodine is also found in iodized salts. Having learnt about all these nutrients that are very important in our food, let us now understand about two main nutrients in the food which are not classified as nutrients but are equally important in the body. The first is roughage. I'm sure you remember that we studied about cellulose while we were discussing carbohydrates. So cellulose is basically the roughage. It is found in fruits and vegetables, and this roughage is very, very important to add bulk to the undigested food in the large intestine and ease the movement of bowels. The next main important nutrient is water. As we all know, it is very important to have 8 to 10 glasses of water every day. Now, what are the reasons behind it? Let us learn them one by one. Number one, all the chemical reactions in the body take place in an aqueous medium. Aqueous medium means in the presence of water. The second important thing is that all the nutrients in our body are very well dissolved in water, as well as the waste material. So water helps in the absorption of nutrients and it also helps in discarding the waste material out of the body. Water also happens to be the major component of blood. It also helps in regulating body temperature. Water is very important in digestion of food. If you remember, the digestion of food begins in the mouth. You start chewing food in the mouth and saliva is what helps you to chew food. As we just learned earlier that water helps to discard waste material out of the body, water definitely helps in purification of blood. Now, having discussed all these nutrients, how do we decide what kind of nutrient is required in the body? Basically, the concept of balanced diet has a very, very important role in our everyday diet. Balanced diet is a diet in which all the nutrients that we have just read are present in the right amount. Now, how do we decide which of these nutrients should be present in which amount in our body? Let us take a few examples. The first example says that a person's daily intake of different nutrients depends upon the age. An infant who's growing needs a lot of protein in their diet. Similarly, an old person with very weak body constitution also requires a lot of protein. A person, on the other hand, who's involved in very severe labor, like a rickshaw puller, would require more amount of carbohydrate, that is energy-giving food. On the other hand, an office worker who's sitting on the chair the whole day long requires less carbohydrates in their diet. It is very important to understand that both excess and deficiency of nutrients is very bad for the body. In case we take these nutrients in a large amount, then also they cause trouble in the body. Similarly, a lesser amount of required nutrients in the body will lead to many deficiency diseases. Let us understand about malnutrition. Malnutrition is a condition that develops when the consumption of protein as well as energy-rich foods is very less. These diseases are divided into two categories, kwashiorkor and marasmus. They basically occur in poor children of underprivileged families who are not able to arrange for the daily requirement of protein and energy for their children. Coming next to obesity. We have just understood what a deficit of nutrients can do to the body. Now coming next to obesity. Obesity is caused by over intake of energy-rich foods like carbohydrates and fats. These excessive nutrients are accumulated inside the body as fat. A person tends to gain a lot of weight. Now, obesity is very, very crucial because obesity leads to many cardiovascular diseases and diabetes and many other health concerns. So, it is very, very important to understand the kind of food that you require, the kind of nutrient amount that your body requires, and eat your food according to that. Coming to vitamin deficiency diseases. Night blindness. The deficiency of vitamin A leads to night blindness. Night blindness is a condition in which a person is unable to see in dim light. The prevention is vitamin A rich fruits like carrots, mangoes, pumpkin, etc. Beriberi is a condition in which the person is unable to do a lot of work. There is extreme weakness, there is swelling and pain in the legs, there is also loss of appetite. Beriberi is a result of deficiency of vitamin B1, and vitamin B1 is obtained from cereals, nut, pulses, etc. The next important disease that we need to understand is scurvy. Scurvy is a disease caused by deficiency of vitamin C. It leads to bleeding of gums. Vitamin C, as we all know, is richly found in fruits like oranges, grapes, etc. Protein deficiency diseases. As we just discussed about these two diseases, kwashiorkor and marasmus. These diseases are generally found in children of poor homes. A prevention here is a protein-rich diet, which is a combination of soya bean, gram, wheat, peanuts, and jaggery. This is the only cure for these two diseases. Coming next to anemia. Anemia is a disease in which the body is unable to supply sufficient oxygen to all the different parts. It takes place because of iron deficiency. Remember learning that iron is important for formation of RBCs. RBCs carry oxygen from one part of the body to another. Iron-rich foods such as fish, spinach, etc. can help us improve the situation. The next important disease to understand is rickets. Rickets is caused due to deficiency of vitamin D. It initially starts with weak bones, but in severe cases, it can also lead to brittle bone situation. Vitamin D deficiency can be overcome not only by foods rich in vitamin D like liver, egg yolk, etc. It is most importantly cured by exposure to sunlight. Sunlight helps the body to build its own vitamin D. The next important disease is goiter. Goiter is caused due to deficiency of iodine. Iodine is important for the functioning of the thyroid gland that is present in your neck region. And as you can see, a deficiency of iodine leads to swelling of the gland in the neck region. A prevention here is sufficient amount of iodine. And as we learned earlier, iodine is not only present in seafood but also in iodized salt. So in this chapter, we have learned about the three important nutrients: the energy-giving nutrients, the protective nutrients, and the bodybuilding nutrients. We have also understood that carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals are key nutrients that are supplied by our food. We have also understood that roughage and water are also important components that help us in maintaining a very healthy body. We have also learned about the diseases that are caused due to excess of nutrients, and we have also learned about diseases that are caused due to deficiency of certain nutrients. We have also learned about the ways to prevent these diseases. So I really hope that you make good use of this lesson in your everyday life. Thank you.